This is Amy Chan from CakeDecoratingSchool.com, and if you like cake decorating, you're in the right place. Welcome to our flower series. In this video, we'll be piping simple buttercream anemone flowers. It's broken down into steps so you can skip ahead, rewind, and rewatch as desired. We're going to be making a couple of colors for our flower today. We're using American-style buttercream, but you could use another kind like Swiss or Italian meringue if you prefer. We're using several liquid gel colors: neon bright pink, sunset orange, lemon yellow, coal black, and finally some violet. We're going to start out and make a nice little pinky peach shade. So I've just got some of my neon bright pink and some of my sunset orange out here, and I'm going to use a little both of those, just a couple little specks. I want to make a nice present kind of pink color, but I just want to add just a touch of that orange to it. We'll just give it a mix around and make sure we like it. As I'm going, if it feels too orange, feels too peachy, I can add some more pink to it. I think that's probably what I'll end up doing. Just a little more and it should be good. That gives us a beautiful soft pink, has a nice warm feel just because of that tiny touch of orange we added. Our second color, we're going to make a nice orange that has quite a bit of yellow in it. So we just want to think a soft, kind of sunshiny shade. So let's get going. We've got a little bit of that sunset orange. And then we're just going to add a couple of touches of our lemon yellow. Kind of think of these kinds of shades where you have a lot of yellow and the orange just being like a tangerine kind of color. But in this case, we're just making a really soft, light version of it. So it's not intense, but it gives us that kind of tangerine, almost orange sherbet kind of vibe. That's beautiful. For a final color, we want to make something dark. So think of a really dark gray, almost nearly black color. And I don't want it to be too black. I want to give it just a bit of a purplish vibe. So I'm going to add a drop of my violet and then one of my coal black. And I think that's going to be a nice tone for this. That's going to really help it play up against the pink and that great peachy orange, and it's going to give us some contrast. So it's going to be nice and dark, especially as we give it a little bit of time to deepen. So we think we want to make a really, really nice dark gray, think like chalkboard color. That'll deepen to the point that it's black or nearly black for us. And we added some purple just to give it that kind of heathery vibe. And it'll also help it work well with that beautiful pink and orange combo that we created. We're using 2 bags for this flower. The first one you can see is loaded up with our gray. It has a coupler because we're going to use more than one tip. And the second has both our pink and our orange in it. And we've done a 2-color stripe. The bag is loaded so that the pink is lined up with the skinny end of the opening of our tip, and the orange is lined up with the fat end. For our bag of gray, we're going to be using both a number 5 tip and a number 1. For our 2-color stripe bag, we're going to be using a number 125. If you're looking for directions on how to stripe your bags, you can check out our great video on color striping with details about how to do this load. For our simple anemone, we're going to use several techniques, many of which you've probably seen before in our other videos. The first is a support ring. We're going to make that today with our 125 tip. And for this, we're holding our bag straight up and down in relation to our flower nail, so a 90-degree angle, and we're just going to hold it right there above the surface, squeeze while we spin, and that's going to create a nice little ring of frosting for us. It's going to help us join all of our petals together and make sure our flowers are nice and stable, while also giving the bottom layer of some of our petals a little bit of a curve. For petals, we're going to be doing fan-shaped petals. So you want to think about the fat end of the tip being towards the center of a flower nail, the skinny end out, and we're going to draw out, across, and back. And for the bigger ones, don't worry so much if there's a void in the center. As we pipe more petals on our flower and get closer to the center, they'll get tighter, a little shorter, and those will all disappear or get covered up. One thing we're going to do today, though, is we're going to change the angle and clock position of our bag. So we're going to start out kind of flat, right, in our lay flat position and move to 45 degrees. We're also going to change the angle, the clock position of the back end of the bag, and the angle of the opening. So you'll notice I'll probably give you those cues not only when we review building our blossom, but also on our nail again when we're teaching our actual flower. We're going to use dots for our centers, and for this we're using a number 5 tip. You just want a tip that's going to be big enough to fill up the void that's left and make a nice presentation. And for this one, we're just going to use a smooth dot. So we just want to give it nice space, holding that bag straight up and down. Give it a good squeeze, let that frosting build up. And then when we reach our full size, stop and swirl around to give it a nice finish. For our stamens, we're going to use little spikes created with our number 1 tip. You just want to be right above the surface, squeeze and let that frosting connect and build up, and then pull away while you're still squeezing. And on these, we're going to leave them nice and kind of wild, and we're going to go all the way around kind of the edges of our petals and follow the curve of the little petals, and it'll create a nice natural look and feel to these. To create our blossoms for these simple anemones, we're going to start out with our bag with our 125, and we're going to pipe that support ring. So we're just going to come in a bit from the edge of our flower nail to pipe our ring. So think you want to leave about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch space on the outside edge of your nail to set yourself up for success. Lock yourself into that position, squeeze and spin to make that ring. We're going to keep working with our 125 tip, and we're going to pipe 4 of our fan-shaped petals. We're going to do it over the rings. So think about making those petals kind of droop over, giving it kind of that convex feel where they kind of go up in the middle and then fold down at the ends, and it looks like they're flopping over. So it looks like this blossom is really nice and open. So we're going to be in a flat position with the bag. So think lay flat, 3 o'clock. So back into the bag is over towards 3, and that tip opening is almost going to be flat with the surface. Just that skinny end is going to be a little bit off. So a nice kind of flat position almost on everything there. And we'll pipe 4 of them. So think about making a cross or an X or whatever. I like to go top, bottom, 2 sides sometimes if I really want to set myself up nice and equal, or you can work around in a circle. It's kind of personal preference on that. But just make sure you get 4 relatively the same size and leave just a tiny gap between each petal. Next, for our second set, we're going to change just the setup of our bag. So we're going to pull the bag angle to 45 degrees. So we're going to go from flat to 45. We're going to also take the tip opening, and instead of that being nearly flat, we're going to rock that up as well. So think 45-degree angle, or if you want to use clock face positions, think about kind of maybe at like 130 would be a good way to visualize that for you, but you just want to have it kind of up in that halfway between flat against the surface and 90 degrees. And that's going to give us the look of petals that are kind of going up a little bit. and are no longer flopping over for us. So it's going to help give our flowers some depth and dimension. And then we're going to pipe 5 of those. These can overlap. That'll actually help give them more support. So just start in the middle of one, pipe your first one. These are going to be shorter, they're going to be smaller, and they're going to be sticking up a little bit for us, and they'll probably have a tiny bit of curve on the end. That'll just be a beautiful, nice thing that just naturally happens. We're going to do a small third row of petals. This one, only 3. We're only going to do a little bit of changes. We're going to keep going and rock the angle of the opening of the tip up even more, so it's almost straight at 90 degrees. Bag angle is going to stay the same, but we're going to take the back of the bag and put it towards our right shoulder since we're right-handed. If you're a lefty, just do the opposite. So it'll be at that 430 position. And that's going to help give us these nice upright petals that'll have a nice curve to them and a lot of drama. We just want to squeak 3 of those in where we can to help fill in a little more and give us an even more upright look to these. So we'll have some that are almost straight up and down, some that are at a slight angle, and that first row that's almost flat and kind of curved down a little bit. And it gives you that feeling of a nice blossom that's really opening up for you. We're going to finish it off really quickly by grabbing that bag of our dark gray. And we'll start with our number 5 tip and pipe that big dot in the center. And that should really help fill up any void you have left there in the center of your flower. And then we'll switch our tip to our number 1 and just go and put those stamens around the edges. So think between the dot and the petals, and you can just follow kind of that natural curve of the petals, just flick up. If some of them flop over towards the center, that's great. Some of them rest against the petals, that's fine too. Some of them up straight. Just make it nice, wild, kind of hairy and loose in there, and that'll give a nice natural vibe. We're ready to start piping. We've got our 3-inch flower nail. I've got a little piece of parchment stuck there, and I've got my bag with my pink and orange and my 125 tip ready to go. We're going to take ourselves and set ourselves up for success with our ring. So just kind of imagine lining yourself up with the outside edge and then track yourself in about 3/4 to 1/2 inch. We just want to make this ring a little bit smaller than our actual nails so that we have room to pipe past it. And I'm just going to squeeze and spin. And if this doesn't happen all in one motion, that's fine. See, I got a little break there, just go and fill it in. We just want to make a nice little ring of frosting so that we have something to pipe on top of to support those bottom petals and join everything together. Now we're going to pipe this first row of petals. I've got my bag in my flat position. Back end is off towards 3 o'clock, so think directly towards my right. The tip opening is almost flat too. So you can see I need to just pull the outside edge up a little bit because I don't want to run into and go through my ring. I want to go over top of it. So it can't be completely flat. We've just got to come up a little bit to set ourselves up. And we're going to pull ourselves out just a little bit from the center. So we're starting just kind of with the tip almost like right there, halfway across that ring. So we can pull out over and back. So you can see it flops over that little ring for us and gives us a nice little beautiful effect there where you get the nice little curve to those petals. And it's really subtle and it gives it look like the flower is opening up. And I'm just going to go all the way around. So I'm going to pipe 4. So think north, south, east, west, or whatever works for you. Leave just a little space in between. And if you have trouble doing them one right after the other, just working around in kind of that clockwise motion, you can always do top, bottom, right, left, or whatever works to get that spacing for you. But I'm not too concerned with them all being exactly the same size. I just want to get 4 on there, relatively equal in size, relatively equal spaced, but if there's a little variation, that actually looks nice and natural. So I kind of just prefer to work around in that kind of clockwise motion, but you can do whatever works best for you and try it both ways. For our second row, we're doing 5 petals. We've taken the angle of the bag up to 45 degrees, and we've done the angle of the opening at 45 degrees as well. So this is going to give us more upright petals. We're going to pipe the same motion, so think pulling up, across, and down. And I just want to start in that kind of void of one of these, and that's going to help kind of cushion, give some support They might fall over a tiny bit, that's fine, but you can see already it's standing up on its own. And we just want to do 5 of these. And you can start right on top of the one before or right next to. If you made yours a little shorter, you can go next to, some of them overlapping, some of them not. You just want to try and get 5 in there and make them kind of relatively equally sized. And the more they overlap and the more you vary it up, the more natural your blossoms will feel. For our final 3rd row of petals, we're going to try and get 3 in there. And I've just changed the back end of the bag is towards 45 degrees. And now you can see the tip is pointing straight up and down. And this is going to allow me to just kind of squeak 3 smaller petals, same motion in there. You can see they almost curl towards the center just a little bit. So anywhere I've got just a little bit of a gap, I just want to try and get 3 of those in there. And that's going to really kind of fill this up just a little bit for us. To finish off our anemones, we need to create a center. So I'm going to start here with my number 5 tip and just give myself a nice big full dot. To finish them off, I'm going to use my number 1 tip, same color, or nice dark gray, and just pop in some great stamens. You just want to go all the way around your centers, follow the curve of those petals. That'll help give them some support, and just do some nice wild little frilly spikes anywhere it needs it. You can do 1 row if that's not quite enough. If you need to, you can always pop in a little bit of extra anywhere you need to kind of add some volume or even correct your shape. Sometimes I just do a sparse little 2nd row, but that adds a nice little bit of fullness. It can help you round out and shape your centers and really gives you a beautiful look. Some nice dark contrast down in there, but we went with a dark gray so it's not too stark between those nice light soft colors that we used for our petals. If you enjoyed this simple anemone lesson, try checking out our regular anemone lesson that uses our Korean tips and has a nice different look to it. Or if you want something classic, maybe our basic rose video. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like more about the cake decorating materials and equipment we use, or just some inspirational videos about cake decorating itself, you can follow us on Insta or YouTube at Cake Decorating School. If you'd like to know more about yearly membership and what it entails, you can go to www.cakedecoratingschool.com for more information. And if you're interested in these products, you can check the links in the description.